Hello everyone! Today we have r/entitled parents. If you want me to cover some specific subreddit in the next video, leave it in the comments. Do my parents even like me, bro? Okay, so my mom does this thing where she keeps baby talking and it goes on for like 6 years. She also holds her hands into fists and shakes them like a kid would. We were in the car yesterday and my dad was going the normal speed you go on a highway and she started acting. There is a 0% chance that these were real emotions. Like she was scared and plugged her ears and shut her eyes or stared or something. She also just behaves oddly. Like whenever I tell her something she's doing is embarrassing me or annoying me, she always does it even more or for longer. This is by far her most confusing behavior. For example, the other day, I had the worst headache ever. I was at school the entire day for an honors program, and when we were in the car, my dad stepped out to buy something. She started talking to herself, which I normally don't care about, since she does that all the time. But when I asked her to stop because of my headache, multiple times, she ignored me and kept doing it, like she always does, saying literally anything at that point. I also fear she simply just doesn't like me. Like, I would just be sitting on my phone and she would complain to my dad about how I'm on my phone 24 hours a day. It's a summer break. Then he would get pissed at me, or I could take a small dish outside of the kitchen or use her computer for a minute, and she would tell my dad about it, resulting in the most disgusting, insufferable argument possible about how I never listen and I have zero respect for them because my room isn't clean. Okay, I'm a teenager. I don't want to stay at home every second of the day while everyone is out with their families or with friends. I keep nagging at my parents to go out, but they never want to leave the house and they don't let me go out 2 days in a row. Then it turns out into a fight about how I just suck and I don't listen when I haven't even done anything at all. And then my dad says I cannot leave the house, and I hear the same sentence I hear almost every single day. You don't need to have friends. Then all of this disappears whenever my dad decides he feels bad. And my mom suddenly loves me, and we're at the restaurant once in a blue moon, and she starts huddling me up and baby talking to me. And the second we go home and I attempt to have a casual conversation with her, she cannot even stand me. My older brother is her favorite. He's rude to me most of the time, but it's probably just sibling fights. Whenever I answer back to him, my mom looks at me like I'm psychotic. Whenever I talk about something he does that just is not normal, they both talk over me and my mom says, "Don't listen to her." And they ignore me and just have a whole conversation. Earlier today, I only asked my mom if she was going to teach my class soon. My mom complained loudly, and my dad flipped out on me and just told me not to talk. I was at school since 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the honors program. I just came home. My parents know I would do anything to go out, even for a ride in the car, since they literally do not leave the house. They went out, and when I asked when they were going, they said I couldn't come and left. When they came home, my dad took my phone away. Said I don't listen, I don't respect them, and that I cannot use my phone or leave the house unless it's for school. They were probably pissed about the school thing because I complained about my parents not letting me move schools, and they told me not to bring it up anymore and that it's not up to me, but I didn't even mention moving. Oh, what would happen to me if my mom knew I was using her computer to type this at 1 a.m.? Or am I actually the problem? This is a super sad story, and I looked through the comments, and OP says that she's not looking to move away from the parents because she feels financially safe there, so she will just wait up for 2 years and then move away for college. Also, OP said that she's from the country where police would not help her, so I guess calling CPS is not an option here. The parents are obviously mistreating her, maybe physically, but mentally 100%. But just a general question, is OP's mom okay? Because she's not acting normal. And since it started only 6 years ago, I just wonder, maybe something happened. Maybe there are some kind of health problems there. Because it really does look like a Grey's Anatomy episode where somebody has a brain tumor and all of a sudden they act super weird and differently than usual. I don't know. What do you guys think? Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, because I really want to get 25 more subscribers till the end of the week. So if you subscribe, you will make my day. Mother and her loud child. So, my family and I went to Chico State Park for 2 days, overnight camp, for a family reunion. There are 2 cabins for boy family members and girl family members. This mom made her 2 6-year-old boys sleep in the girls' cabin, which is fine, but the children would not stop screaming. And I get it, they're children, but this screaming and constant talking and climbing up people's beds to bother them happened all night and all day, and the mom did not try to stop them at all. Eventually, after a sleepless night, the kids were still screaming and being rowdy in the morning, so I said very calmly, "Dude, chill out." The mother glared at me and said, "Really? Are you effing serious? He's just talking." It's not even like I'm an adult or a mother, so she couldn't have taken it as me judging her. I'm a teenager. I was very mad at this mom, but alas, I was the one who apologized. Sometimes there are battles that are not worth fighting. And battles with stupid people are usually that kind of battle. Because you would never win an argument with an idiot. Also, 6 years old, it's not that young. Why would they stay in the girls' cabin with their mommy? Left restaurant today. I had to ask the restaurant my husband and I went to tonight to make our orders to go, thanks to an entitled parent. We went to one of our local restaurants. There was family of 6, 4 kids under 5. They were being typical kids, laughing or giggling, which is fine. One started screaming a lot, and there was zero correction or response from either parent. One of the kids then proceeded to start hitting her plate repeatedly, non-stop with a spoon. Still, zero response from the parents. As my husband is currently having some sensory issues, I went up to their counter and asked for everything to be to go. She asked if something was wrong, and I said yes, unfortunately. They are just too much for us. The mother proceeds to tell me she's only 3, and it was a bit of an altercation. Apparently, because it's a restaurant, they're allowed to be as loud as they want to be. I should know this is not like a McDonald's where this would be appropriate. Kids are hard, but it's really awful when you just want to have a nice meal but can't, because people think their kids can do anything, anywhere with zero consideration for others. But why would it be appropriate in McDonald's? Are people who go to McDonald's inferior or what? I may not be able to discipline your child, but I can redirect the energy. Yesterday was a rough day for me at the gym. Deadlifts are a wonderful exercise, make no mistake, but the last thing you want to do after completing a set of deadlifts is smile or move. So, rather than my usual plan of swim a few laps in the pool, I floated around a little in the leisure pool at my gym. Moved from one spot to another, trying to steer clear of children, doing what children do in the pool. Things like screaming, throwing toys around, swimming around without looking where they're going, effectively turning leisure swim into a sneaking mission. I was rather successful at this, right up until a boy who appeared to be around 7 or 8 years old decided to spike a beach ball into the back of my head. Wasn't a huge one or very heavy, little damage on my end. I figure out it might have been a mistake, so I reclaim the beach ball and give it to the boy who had thrown it at me. Less than a minute later, I get doinked again, so I reclaim the ball and ask the kid nicely to stop throwing stuff at me. He nods and grins, and I go back to what I was doing. 3 guesses what happened next. If you needed more than one to assume the boy spiked that ball on the back of my head for the 3rd time, see me after class. So, after strike 3, I grabbed the ball and asked the kid where mom was. Mom, as it turns out, was reading a book on a lounge chair poolside. Please note this place has an excessive number of lifeguards, not as negligent as it would be at a hotel pool. So I dragged the child and his ball up to mom and explained that the kid has beamed me with a beach ball 3 times and that's kinda not cool. Mom decided to do the hat toss someone does where they are rolling their eyes behind huge sunglasses and said something in the effect of, "It's a beach ball. Boys will be boys." I tossed the ball onto mom's legs and get back into the pool, keeping an eye out for the kid. A few minutes later, I heard muffled giggling behind me, and then I felt the soothing sensation of a beach ball to the back of my head for the 4th time. I reclaimed the ball yet again and intended on making eye contact with the kid and popping their ball right in front of them. But then the bad idea fairy rapped me sharply with their magic wand, and I had an evil grin, not unlike the grin the kid gave me after strike number 1. So I tell the kid to come here, I want to show you something. And then I submerge the ball under the water and pinch the air nozzle, which makes air bubbles shoot out. Happens to look exactly like someone was tooting underwater. He's not strong enough to submerge the air-filled ball, so I tell him to get on top of it and use his body weight to sink the ball. He managed to do that, and his face lit up like it was Christmas morning and he'd gotten everything he had asked for. He promptly swam off and found other people to annoy. I didn't get a ball thrown at me, and the kid's mom was pissed that she had to blow up the beach ball again. Was actually asking her son how it went flat so fast when it was a brand new beach ball, in between big gasps of breath trying to fill the ball up. Kid just points at me. On my way to the locker room, I wave and say, "Oh, boys will be boys." I really like this story, and it is a really funny one. It's a good one. But at the moment when OP said, "Oh, little boy, come here, I will show you something in the pool," I was like, ooh, are we in that kind of post that I will not be able to read here? But no, everything is PG, thank God. And also, reinflating the ball is such a small price for the mom to pay for her kid to be happy and do not annoy anyone. Thank you for listening. You can also watch this awesome video or that awesome playlist. See you next time!